Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be giving y'all tips on how to move out. Now, someone requested I did this video and I'm like, why didn't I think of this before? Here it is now. I'm going to give y'all 6 tips on how to move out. Now y'all, these tips are not in any particular order. They're just how I wrote them out and just how I thought of them off the top of my head, but they are all just as important. So I'm gonna list them off to y'all. I have 6 of them, so let's get started. So my first tip to moving out is to start just kind of looking about 6 months ahead of time. Now, I recommend 6 months ahead of time for a newbie, like a beginner. If you've never moved out at all, I recommend 6 months because you can just kind of fiddle around and see what the prices in the market are going for in your area. So if you're looking at apartments, a townhome, if you want to rent a house, whatever you're looking to do to move out, I would suggest looking 6 months ahead of time so you can just get a gist of what the prices are in your area. And you can just know what to expect for a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom and so forth. But when it's time to actually move out, I suggest looking 1 to 2 months ahead. So when you're actually ready to move, I don't suggest 6 months because all you're gonna do is obsess over properties. You're just gonna get stressed out and cluttered. And then by the time it's time for you to actually move, the property may not still be on the market. When you're serious and ready to actually move, I will suggest 1 to 2 months before your moving date. So my second tip will be look for a place to stay within close proximity of all of your necessities and your work and your school. So I will consider where you work, where you go to school, and also groceries, restaurants, fast food places, bars, nightclubs, etc. Things that you like to do, I would suggest moving close to that and everything you need, because me personally as a young adult, I don't like to commute. If I have to drive more than 20 minutes to get somewhere, I've lost interest. And even if I do have to commute, I don't want to run up miles and possibly damage my car and cause myself another expense. So you want to keep everything in a close proximity. And this can also save you gas money as well, which would be another expense. So the gist of this here is keep your expenses low as possible. My tip number 3, which like I said, these aren't in order, but make sure you can afford to move out. Moving out is not nearly as hard as people may make it seem if you can afford your bills. So make sure you can make 3 times your rent money, which is what most landlords and apartments and property management places, that's mostly what they ask for, is that you can make 3 times the monthly rent. Make sure that after you can make 3 times the monthly rent, make sure that you also just add on like an extra $100 for utilities, electric bill, garbage, renter's insurance. It's a lot of other fees and bills that come along with your apartment price versus just the rent price. If you don't think you can quite afford everything on your own, then I would suggest looking into a roommate. Now, I don't know if I can give you that good advice for a roommate situation because I've never had a roommate, but that is something you could look into as well. Tip number 4, budgeting will be your best friend. You're gonna have to actually sit down and physically write out your bills. And the way I like to budget is rent, car, cell, renter's insurance, health insurance, electricity, and that's all of my bills. So I like to write out all of my bills, how much they cost, and if I can make that, you know? So basically write out all of your bills, all of your spending. If you spend money on hair, nails, fast food, or whatever, write that out, because you'll be surprised how much money you're actually wasting or you're spending that you could possibly hold on to. Once you budget out all of your expenses, whatever you have left, you can save some, and then the rest you can spend or do whatever you like to do with it. Make sure that you have your bill money set aside and you know exactly what your monthly bills are. My next tip will be, once you find an apartment, actually filling out the application process. Filling out the application process is pretty self-explanatory, but I'm just saying that because that's just kind of what it is. It's self-explanatory because it just asks you certain stuff. But for me, I did have someone help me. My mom is a realtor, so I had her come with me, help me fill it out, read everything, and like explain everything to me. So I would suggest, if you've never, you know, moved out and got your own apartments, if you do have a parent or guardian that can help you with the application process, or if you have a realtor or apartment locator that can help you, then that's always better. But I do think it's something that you easily can do yourself as well. You want to make sure that you're reading everything out, read all documents before you sign anything, go over your lease in detail, make sure you're understanding what you're signing, because you don't know, you never know, and you want to be careful because you're signing it and you'll be legally binded in the contract and all that. Last tip is, when moving out, remember less is more. If you're moving out alone, you don't need to get a 2-bedroom apartment for the idea of you're having guests come visit you who probably are only gonna come twice a year. Get something smaller. If it's just you, get a 1-bedroom. And honestly, if it's just you, what about a studio? They're cheaper, they're smaller, and the thing about it is, when you get more space in your apartment, you're gonna wanna fill it up. So you're gonna wanna buy furniture, decorations, and all of this stuff for all this space when it's just you. So remember, less is more. If you don't need all of that space, don't get it. Get the smallest possible. And I like to do that because when I have smaller bills, then I have more money to do what I want to do. That's like my apartment now. It's a studio, which I will be doing an apartment tour for y'all. But it's a studio. I make the most of my space, and I have more money to do other things. Like, all my money isn't going to bills. So I would recommend getting smaller space as possible. Y'all, save your coins, live below your means. Less is more. Y'all, those are basically all my tips. I did have a few I just thought of off the top of my head. If you are moving out and you're like moving in a rush or something, get a 6-month lease. Like, if you don't want to commit to an apartment that you're probably unsure about, or like you really just need to move, this isn't like the apartment of your dreams just yet, get a 6-month lease. I got a 6-month lease, my first apartment that I'm in now, just because I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay here, and honestly I was having commitment issues. I didn't really know if I just wanted to commit to something for so long. But I love my apartment now, and I'm signing a year lease. So start off small and short term if you have that option. And lastly, y'all, look at reputable websites when you are looking for an apartment. I will have websites listed below that y'all can go to that are reputable websites to look for apartments, homes, etc., townhomes, whatever, because you don't want to get scammed out of your money. You don't want to get hurt or put in a dangerous situation. Like, there's crazy people out here, so be careful. Always go view apartments or rental homes with somebody, and make sure you are going through a reputable website. It's crazy because now I'm having some more tips like come to my head. But another thing about moving out, you want to make sure that you're being safe. Like, even me, like as a young woman living on your own, or even a young guy, whatever, but I'm just gonna say woman because we could be more targeted or whatever. But you want to make sure that you're being safe and you're thinking precautiously about everything you do. If you're going to be coming home late, if you're grocery shopping, you're out in your car like getting groceries out, taking the trash out, whatever it could be, you want to always watch your back, watch your surroundings, and just be safe in general. If you have a work routine where you work a 9 to 5, or you go to school 9 to 5, or whatever, switch it up sometimes. Like, go to work 30 minutes early so people don't know where you're going. Or like, just switch up your routine sometimes so it doesn't look like, all right, she's gonna be out of the house today, or all right, I know she's gonna be on her way home right now. Like, switch up your routine. Don't wear your work outfit. Like, if you have a work uniform, don't wear it to your car. Like, put on your shirt in your car, or etc., because you don't want people to either know where you work, or you're going to work right now, you just got off work. You just don't want people to know your schedule, and you'll be surprised if there's any crazies living in your building or around you. And I'm not saying this to just scare you or anything like that. It's just something that you just learn and you just have to know. Like, I find myself doing a lot of safe stuff that I normally just wouldn't do living at home. Like when you live at home, you're driving home into your driveway or you're driving into your garage. Like you're just more safe and you have neighbors you've known for years or whatever. But when you're on your own, people know that and you don't want anyone to take advantage of you and you don't want to seem vulnerable at any time. So always stay safe. Don't make it look like you have a schedule or a routine. Just, you know, keep your eyes open, be alert at all times. And remember that you as a single woman out here on your own, you could possibly be a target. So just stay alert and be safe. Y'all, I think that's all of my tips I can pretty much think of for this video. If I forgot any tips, I will have them listed below in the description box. And also if y'all can think of any tips I need to add to this, or if you moved out and have experienced anything, like, leave a comment below and like, let's help people out who need some help. All right, but yeah, that basically wraps it up for this video on how to move out. Y'all don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can subscribe by clicking this button and it will directly subscribe you to my channel. And also check out my last video right here. Thank y'all so much for watching and I'll see y'all on my next one.